After a brutal 12-hour shift at the hospital, I came home exhausted, still in scrubs, my feet aching, my back screaming. All I wanted was to collapse into my bed. Instead, I stood frozen on my own porch, locked out of the life I'd built. On the other side of the doorbell camera was Linda Grant, my mother-in-law. Her voice, sharp as ever, spilled through the speaker. Jake finally came to his senses. "Emily," she said, tapping her perfect nails, "this house belongs to our family. You were never good enough for it, or for him." My heart pounded. I was Emily Carter, Jake's wife. But in this moment, I was a stranger in my own home. Linda had worked for years to dismantle our marriage, comments about my heritage, my job, my worth, and now, she'd won. "Where's Jake?" I whispered. "He's with us. He left you this." She smirked, waving a note. I reached for my phone. "I'll call him." He changed his number. Fresh start. There were boxes on the porch, my life, packed carelessly. And just like that, I was erased. My jaw tightened, but not from sadness. From rage. "Linda," I said calmly, "I'm giving you one chance to open this door and explain what's really going on. Because right now, you're committing multiple crimes, and trust me, you don't want me to start listing them." She scoffed. "Crimes? This is my son's house. He has every right to. This is my house." I snapped. "My name is on the deed. I paid for it with my own money. And what you're doing is illegal entry, theft, and harassment, for starters." She paused. I could practically hear the gears grinding behind that smug face. "Jake told me this was his house," she said, suddenly unsure. I smiled. I remembered the day I bought this place. Jake was hesitant when I said I'd put only my name on the deed, for tax reasons. I told him, but deep down, I knew how Linda worked, how she used guilt and money to control him. I pulled up my lawyer's number. "Would you like Jennifer to explain how deep you're in right now?" "You're bluffing," she hissed, but her voice cracked. "I'm not," I said, turning toward my car, "and you have 30 minutes to leave my house, or I'm calling the police." My hands trembled as I dialed Jennifer. She picked up. "Let me guess," she said. "The monster-in-law finally showed up." "She changed my locks. Claims Jake's leaving me," I said, staring at the house. Linda had barricaded herself inside, spinning some story about Jake processing things at their place. Jennifer inhaled sharply on the other end, fingers already typing. "Have you spoken to Jake?" "I can't reach him. According to Linda, he's changed his number." I hesitated, a terrible thought creeping in. "Jen, something's wrong. This isn't like him. She's done something." "Want me to call the police?" she asked. I considered it. "Not yet. Give me 30 minutes. Stay on standby, always. And Emily, be careful. Desperate people do desperate things." I hung up and scrolled through my contacts until I found him. Mark Grant, Jake's younger brother, answered on the first ring. "Emily, thank God. I've been trying to reach Jake all day." My heart sank. "You haven't heard from him either?" "No, and Mom's been weird. She said he was working late, but his office said he never showed up." As I explained everything, lights flickered inside the house. Linda was clearly rattled. I knew Mom was spiraling. Mark whispered, "But this is next level. Meet me here, and Mark, bring your key to their house. I think that's where Jake is." 20 minutes later, he arrived, eyes on the boxes. Linda never came out. The security cam was dark. But I knew she was watching. She figured out how to disable it. Mark said quietly, stepping beside me at my car. "I called Dad. He's staying out of it." Said, "This is between you all now." He raked a hand through his hair, just like Jake used to. The gesture nearly broke me. "I'm so sorry, Emily. I knew Mom was losing it. But it's not your fault," I said, checking my phone again. Still nothing from Jake. "You ready to go?" He nodded, twirling the keyring around his finger. "You really think she has him there? Where else would she hide him?" We drove separately, just in case Jake needed to be transported. The road to the Grant's estate felt longer than ever. My mind spun. Was Jake okay? Had Linda finally gone too far? And what did she do to get him to go along with this? The house was dark, but her Mercedes and Jake's Audi sat in the driveway. My chest tightened at the sight of his car. "He's here." Mark opened the door with his key. Inside, everything was pristine, too pristine. "Check the guest rooms," I whispered. "I'll take the study." Robert Grant's study. Jake always felt safe there. It was Linda's least favorite room. The door was locked, but light glowed beneath it. I knocked softly. "Jake?" A groggy voice replied. "Dad?" "No." "It's me, Emily." He opened the door, dazed and swaying. "Emily, what are you doing here?" Mom said. "I caught him before he collapsed." "What did she give you?" "Just something to help me sleep." My arms held him, but my heart was burning. Linda had drugged my husband. And this time, she'd gone too far. She drugged him, probably sleeping pills. Maybe something stronger. No wonder he'd been so compliant. So quiet. "Mark," I called, keeping my voice low but firm. "In here." He stepped into the room, and his expression changed the moment he saw his brother. "Jesus Christ," he breathed. "Is he drugged?" I nodded, checking Jake's pupils, pinpoints. "Call an ambulance, now." The next hours were chaos. Paramedics arrived, followed by the police. Jake was taken to a hospital across town, thank God. Not mine, but a good one. Linda, gone. A check on her credit card showed she'd booked a flight to Florida, running. Jennifer met us at the hospital just as they finished the tox screen. The results were exactly what I feared, sedatives and anti-anxiety meds. Enough to dull him, enough to make him obey. Attempted murder, Jennifer muttered, along with breaking and entering. False imprisonment. I don't care about charges. I cut her off, eyes locked on Jake through the glass. I just want him safe. Patricia had tried to erase everything, but I'd backed up the footage. Every word, every threat. Jake finally woke around midnight. I was there, holding his hand. "Emily," he whispered, voice hoarse. "What happened?" "Your mother," I said gently. "She's been drugging you, Jake, for days, maybe longer." His eyes widened. "The tea," he whispered. "She kept giving me tea." It felt like I was drowning, like my mind wasn't mine anymore. Jake whispered, his voice cracking. I held him close as his body trembled with sobs, raw grief. Anger, betrayal. This man, kind, strong, always giving the benefit of the doubt, even to her, was finally seeing the truth. "I'm so sorry," he choked out. "I should have known. I should have protected you." I cupped his face, gently forcing him to meet my eyes. "No," I said. "She's sick, Jake. This isn't your fault." 3 days later, the police found Linda Grant at her sister's home in Tampa. She had plans to flee to the Cayman Islands, but instead, she was arrested and extradited. The evidence was overwhelming: years of harassment, manipulation, toxicology reports, security footage, forged documents. She'd planned everything. Robert Grant, Jake's father, finally spoke up. He filed for divorce and handed over years' worth of hidden recordings, proof of Linda's obsessive control. Jake testified, calm, clear. His words painted the picture of a son drugged into silence. Linda was sentenced to 15 years. She didn't look at him when they took her away. Recovery wasn't easy, but together, we rebuilt. We sold the old house and bought a quiet farm outside the city. One evening, as the sun dipped below the hills, Jake turned to me, truly present, and said, "For the first time, I feel free." "You knew what she was capable of, didn't you?" Jake asked softly. "That's why you kept the house in your name. Why you documented everything." He looked at me, eyes full of realization. "You saw it, long before the rest of us did." I nodded, reaching for his hand. "I hoped I was wrong," I said quietly, "but I had to be ready, just in case." He brought my fingers to his lips and kissed them. "Thank you," he whispered, "for fighting for us when I couldn't." We sat in silence, watching the sky melt from gold to violet. Sometimes, life's darkest moments lead us exactly where we're meant to be. Linda tried to destroy us, but in the end, all she did was make us stronger. We built a new life, one filled with love, trust, and quiet strength. The letters still come from prison. Her words, still laced with blame, twisted affection. We don't read them. Jennifer keeps them, just in case. Because I've learned something. You can't always stop the storm, but you can build something stronger in its wake. At night, when Jake sleeps peacefully beside me, I think back to that moment on the porch, her smug face behind the camera. She thought she'd won. She never understood. Real love isn't control. It's standing beside someone, even when the world is falling apart. That's the story we'll tell our children. Not the fear, but the freedom we found after it. Because love, the kind that frees you, is always worth fighting for. And if there's one thing I've learned from all of this, it's that love without respect is just control in disguise. True love, the kind that lasts, doesn't silence you. It listens. It doesn't hold you back. It lifts you up. It's not about who has the power, but about how you protect each other when everything else falls apart. What Linda tried to destroy, she actually revealed. She showed us that even through betrayal, manipulation, and darkness, you can still choose light. You can still rise. Together, if this story moved you, made you think of someone you love, or reminded you of your own strength, Sparkles, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the Family Lies. We tell stories that speak to the heart, because sometimes, the stories we hear help us understand our own. And remember, you are not alone. You are not weak for surviving. And your story, it's still being written. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and never stop believing in the kind of love that sets you free.